okay. Keep staying my lane, you won't put me in shit.
What's up, guys? So this is a gameplay of 100 plus on Demolition Nuketown. I got quite a bit of deaths, but I don't really think it's too much. And I wasn't rocking, lethal score strikes. I was rocking maybe a lightning strike at most. So I don't think it's, really crazy like wraps or anything like that. And and no specialist either. My R2 and L2 button does not work. So this is just a pretty badass gameplay of Demolition for y'all. But what I really wanted to talk about was a story of mine about a Facebook stalker that used to stalk me on Facebook quite a bit. A lot actually. And I can't really tell you her name because she had so many different names, and I'll explain that later. But she had about a dozen pictures when I first met her on this social media app on Facebook. And she was really pretty. She looked like one of those pretty, senior cheerleaders from high school. And this was back when I was about 16 or 17 years old. And we talked a lot. We talked for about a month or two, and she was, she had a really good personality, and she really seemed to like me, and I liked her. So I started, asking her, hey, do you want to like FaceTime or like, video chat on Messenger and this and that. And she was always, making up excuses of, I can't right now, or something came up, or I'm about to go to sleep, or something along those lines, where she would always make up excuses not to actually FaceTime or video chat in real life. Same with pictures. When I would ask her, hey, send me a picture or this and that, she would never actually do it of that time. She would do some picture of her, earlier in the day, or it looked like, or something like that, right? But I did actually end up pushing her far enough where she actually started talking to me on the phone. And she always had this little accent to her voice where it was, and no offense intended, my girlfriend's actually black, so but this girl actually had a black accent. She had, her pictures were all white, of a preppy high school hot cheerleader, but her voice sounded black. And it just was her accent, was just the way she talked, everything about it just seemed black. And I asked her about that when I first got on the phone. It's like, you sound black. Why is that? And she was like, oh, I was adopted, so, my family, I kind of inherited the accent. And I, didn't really buy that at that time, because it just sounded unbelievable, because the way she actually sounded was very questionable. And she had, it wouldn't be, but her voice just sounded much different than the dozen freaking pictures that she had of this white chick. So I started pushing her after like a month and a half. I started pushing her to, show me your face. She wouldn't do it. So I started, pushing it even more, getting a little bit agitated about that. We had a couple of fights, and she didn't want to admit it yet. And it finally got down to the point where she actually did admit it. And she told me that she was not the chick in the pictures. She was somebody else, somebody totally different. And I was like, well, show me what you look like. And as it turns out, she was actually black. She wasn't very pretty. She was definitely not as pretty as those pictures on her Facebook. But I told her, I don't have a problem with what you look like. I don't understand why you didn't do it in the first place. Why didn't you just show me your real self in the first place? And she was like, well, because I don't think you were going to accept me, or this and that. And I was like, well, of course I'm going to accept you. I mean, you have a great personality. Yeah, you're, pretty ugly, but I'm gonna be straight up with you. She was fucking ugly as hell, dude. She was fat, but it wasn't that what made me do the rest of the shit that I did, which I will tell y'all eventually, all the other shit I did to tell her this and that. But it was more along the lines that she, ended up lying to me, that started agitating me, that started, when I sat there and started thinking about it, she lied. She's not that chick in the pictures, and she doesn't look anything like that chick in the pictures. And I started pushing her, started making more fights out of it because it started pissing me off more. And I told her, well, why didn't you just be yourself? Why didn't you just show your face or show who you really are? And it was like, this and that. And I was like, well, no, I mean, you're not gonna find Mr. Right or Mrs. Right by pretending to be somebody you're not. That's for damn sure. Especially if you're hiding behind a dozen photos you found, I'm assuming, on the internet. She says it's her friends, but I'll explain that one later too, of why I don't believe that. And anyways, we talked. I mean, I still talked to her after that, and she was alright. But the thing was, though, is that she ended up lying, and I ended up blocking her because of that. And this is why I tell y'all she was a Facebook stalker in my life, because after that, 2-3 months down the road, she showed up on a different Facebook, different photos, like totally different. Not the black chick, not the white chick, not the white preppy cheerleader chick. She was a total different person. Like, and it was fake. It was definitely 100% fake. And she showed up and she added me as a friend and messaged me saying like, hey, how you doing today? Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm doing all right. Who are you? Again? Who are you? It's like, and I started picking this up eventually too. I started picking this up like easy, because of the way she talked, the way she acted, the way she messaged, and the way the Facebook pictures definitely looked. I tell you that one for a fact, man. But she started doing that over and over again for about a year straight. She started. I would pick up on that she was that same chick, dude. She was that same exact chick that messaged me on Facebook a long time ago and lied about what she looked like, this and that. So I started picking that stuff up real quick. Started blocking her on so many different accounts. That's why I said she didn't really have a real name, because she had so many accounts with about a dozen weird photos of different people, of different chicks that were really hot, and it just didn't make a lot of sense to me. So I finally, maybe about a year ago, maybe like around the third or fourth time she did that to me, I finally told her, like, you should just be yourself, because you're not going to be accepted if you sit there and lie about what you look like. I swear to you, you're not gonna be accepted. Like, come on, that's catfishing. That's weird. That shit fucking freaky in general. I mean, who's gonna like believe you? Like, you get on the phone with them and then you have this weird ass black accent. I mean, come on, nobody's gonna believe you. Like, and this is why I bring it up, is because the other day she messaged me again, but this time it wasn't me who got the message. This time it was my girl, and she said, this chick, she said a bunch of shit to my girl, and was like, he's cheating on you with me, or this and that, right? And I walked into the room with her. I walked into the room with my girl, and she was looking at me like I was a very, very bad person. A very, very, very bad person for some fucking apparent reason. And I was just sitting there looking at her back like, well, what's up? Like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. What happened? And she was like, I got a message from your old friend or your girlfriend. And I'm like, no. What? No? I don't think so. Is it what? And she was like, she showed me a picture of her, and I was like, do you want to try to call her real quick? What does she sound like? And then so we did that. We called her because the Facebook picture looked a little fake again, right? She stalked me on Facebook about 5 or 6 times on different accounts, so I started picking it up real quick. And when I saw the picture my girl showed me, it looked like it was her again. And I told my girl, well, why don't we call her? Because I explained to her, this and that of this stalker that I used to have on Facebook. That was this fat, ugly ass black chick. And she was like, okay, I'll call her, but if she says something, then you know you're gonna get your ass kicked. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I promise you I didn't cheat on you. I won't do that. And we ended up calling her, but I didn't say anything because she was messaging my girl. So my girl called her to pretend like I wasn't in the room. I wasn't in, you know, doing nothing, because I was trying to figure out who the hell this was. Because this, you know, photo didn't look familiar, but it looked just like those weird photos that this chick used to send me. That this chick used to have on her Facebook. And I asked her, and you know, when my girl got on the phone with her, I asked her, hey, does she have a black accent? And she was like, and she, you know, my girl put the phone to her chest so she didn't, you know, hear me talking, and was like, yeah, she does. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I know exactly who that is, dude. So I took the phone from her, and I talked to her in front of my girl, so my girl didn't get, you know, didn't get suspicious about what's going on. And I told her, like, why are you still bothering me? Like I was actually agitated at that time because of the shit that she did to piss off my girl. So I started, you know, going off on her, telling her shit. Then I was finally, but then I only talked to her for about 5 minutes, and then I blocked her again, of course, because it's fucking creepy and it's fucking weird. Do that shit. But before I hung up the phone, I actually told her something that I hope sinks in with her, because I don't think she ever got it, and I tried to tell her this numerous times, is that, you know, why are you pretending to be somebody else? I mean, you're gonna find Mr. Right or Mrs. Right to being yourself. There's so many different people in this world. There's bound to be somebody uglier than you, and to be honest with you, you're not that ugly. Like, maybe me and you could have been something if you never lied in the beginning before I met my, you know, lied that very first time you had that very first account of who you were. I probably would have accepted you, because you were, you know, you had a really good personality, this and that, and, you know, we kind of connected. I'll admit it, we connected. I don't know if that sunk in with her or not, because I don't know if she's gonna do it again, but I'll definitely let y'all know if she does it again, because that shit really does piss me off when people do that. And it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because eventually, you know, you're gonna find Mr. Right, Mrs. Right, you know, just being yourself, but you're never gonna find Mrs. and Mrs. Right if you're pretending to be somebody you're not. Especially if you go onto those links, pretending, you know, I don't even know where the hell she got all these photos of different chicks. She says it's her friends, but that's highly doubtable, because there was so many different hot chicks like that on her accounts that she's used. It's fucking freaky at this point. But hopefully, you know, eventually she's gonna figure it out, because I was kind of like, you know, I flipped off on her. I was like, how do you not have a life yet? Like, come on, why are you still bothering? You went as far to go onto my Facebook, find my girlfriend, and then message her bullshit. Like, all that started pissing me off. But I mean, that's the Facebook stalker for y'all. I mean, she's did it about 7 or 8 times on 7 different accounts with different photos of different chicks. And, you know, I just wanted to tell y'all that little story about that. I hope y'all guys enjoyed the gameplay. I have another gameplay that I'm gonna upload maybe today or tomorrow of another 100 plus. I got the next game after this one. But let me know what y'all think about this, commentating over the gameplay, you know, with life stories or something like that. You know, I have a lot more that might be a little bit more, like, I can try to make this, you know, I gotta work on it, but hopefully I can make it more entertaining for y'all every video. I'm still working on YouTube, you know, in general. Still working on a few kinks, still working on trying to talk to myself, basically. Into a microphone all alone. But if y'all do enjoy it, you know, leave a like. And if y'all want to tell me, you know, what y'all thought about this story, y'all can comment down below, and I will make sure I look at it right away, because I got no life. No, I was just fucking with y'all. Anyways, guys, this was Mr. Badass, and I'll see y'all in the next.
It's alright, yeah, it's okay. Keep staying my lane, you won't put me to shame.